everybody! So today I'm getting all the anger out. My top 15 worst of the year. 15, I have Suicide Squad. This movie was so shoddily made. It really wasn't even a finished film. Enchantress was terrible. The characters didn't really make sense, their motivations. I hated the Joker. I thought that it was saved. The only reason it's 15th worst is because of Margot Robbie and Will Smith. Number 14 on my worst of the year list is one I've complained about a lot, but it's got good things about it, but it just really irritated me, was X-Men Apocalypse. And I get that Michael Fassbender is pretty good in this movie and gives a pretty good performance, but that's about all that I think is good about it. I hated Apocalypse as a character. I found him loud, annoying, and to me, the movie was fractured narratively. You spend a little bit with one character and then a little bit with another character, and none of them felt satisfying or integrated, and I just thought it was cheeky and annoying. Let's talk about my number 13 worst of the year. That is The Fifth Wave. This movie was so drab. It was so violent. It was so sad. And it's supposed to be for teenagers. I mean, give me a break. The twist was so obvious. And it was just joyless. Number 12 on my list is Gods of Egypt. And I can't believe this didn't make the top 10. But there is some so bad it's good material in Gods of Egypt. It's so ridiculous. Oh my gosh, there's so many scenes that were horrible. The story's horrible. The special effects are shockingly horrible. The characters are really bad. The writing is horrible. It is just laughably bad. Number 11 on my worst list is The Huntsman, Winter's War. I hated the first one. The second one is just defies description. I do not understand what was going on in this movie. It's like part prequel, part sequel. It's just all bad. The story made no sense. The character development was terrible. The chemistry between the actors, these are all good actors, was really bad. Jessica Chastain and Chris Hemsworth have terrible chemistry. Emily Blunt, I'm sorry, she was awful. So number 10 on my list is sorry, Gary Marshall, I love you. You made some great films, some great TV shows, but Mother's Day was just atrocious. It was actually really a bad movie about mothers and discussing motherhood. You've made movies that were actually pretty good about discussing motherhood and themes of mothers. It didn't make me laugh at all. All these characters were shrill and unlikable. The worst were these redneck parents, and this is Hollywood's idea of what a Republican is, and it was just insulting and gross and racist and awful. 9, I have a film I almost walked out of. It made me so mad. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. I love the original. I think it is so funny. I think it has such heart. Such a great romantic comedy. And this, it's just like they took everything that I liked about the original movie and we're like, we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it even more, you know? And it just took anything that I liked about the original and just ruined it. I didn't even think the acting was good. I thought that Nia Vardalos was really flat and stale, and I was so disappointed by this movie. On my list is 9 Lives. I can't believe that this is number 8 because this movie is horrible. But like, it's kind of horrible in interesting ways. It's such a weird movie. Like, what were they thinking? You can't even get the meowing sounds right. The meowing sounds so bad. And you're just like, in a talking cat movie, how can you have bad meowing? Like, that's really bad. And the weird thing about the movie is that, like, he's actually a good dad. Like, he has a whole board meeting to try to figure out what to get his daughter for her birthday. Number 7 pick is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I was really actually looking forward to this. I read the book. I thought that the book had potential. I thought the trailers looked pretty good. I thought, oh, this could be Tim Burton kind of coming back. Oh my gosh, this movie bored me so much. It was so slow. And it was just one scene of exposition after exposition after exposition. And it was just like, oh, how do you make A Home for Peculiar Children so boring? I thought it would never end. Number 6 on my list is Alice Through the Looking Glass. And this is frustrating because I think that this movie could have been good, because Alice Through the Looking Glass, the novel, is actually better as far as it's more of a cinematic book than the Alice in Wonderland book, because it actually has a little bit of a narrative, where the others is more just sort of these little vignettes. And this, she's playing chess and she has to go through this journey of sort of playing chess and meeting these characters. Well, they don't have any of that in this movie. It's not Alice Through the Looking Glass really at all. And the trailer is very deceiving, because you think you're going to get a lot of Alan Rickman, and then it's not. And the whole plot of the two movies in the end goes down to tarts and whether the Red Queen lied about eating the tarts. It's so ridiculous. Okay, number 5 is one that I admit is slickly well made. This is one that offended me, that I really thought was horrible. We are talking about Me Before You. And this was a movie, I hated the book, and I would not have paid money for this movie, but I was able to see it at a screening. I admit that this movie is well made, and they actually did improve upon the book in a few ways, but I think that this movie is super manipulative, and I think the way that it twists you into supposedly accepting the fact that he is going to kill himself is just so repulsive and disgusting. One that I was super offended by, number 4 on my list, is Batman the Killing Joke. And in this movie, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, is a tool used by the story to do whatever they want with her. She has no sort of autonomy as a character. She's not making her own plans or setting her own ideas of what she wants out of her life, down to the very point where the script needs her to get raped. She literally is raped, and it's just like, it was just so offensive and so awful. And I didn't even think the animation was very good. My number 3 worst movie of the year is Warcraft. This movie bored me out of my mind. It made absolutely no sense to me. I had no idea who even the characters were, and there was just so many things that I did not understand. There was like this portal that would take you places, and I didn't understand what the portal was or what the rules were to it, and there were just so many scenes that was like, what on earth? I thought the casting was really bad throughout, particularly all of the human characters were massively overacted. Everybody looked the same. I couldn't tell any of the characters apart. I didn't get any kind of clear narrative. Worst movie of the year, you probably think this will be number 1, is Norm of the North. This movie was atrocious on every level. It's not funny. The animation is horrible. The story, the characters don't make any sense. The plot of the villain is just so ridiculous, of building these houses in the Antarctic. And there's just, I don't know, it's just like they have multiple pee jokes and that are long, and there's these lemmings that are obvious trying to be the minions, and it's just painful to watch. The last worst movie of the year is from my friend Adam Sandler in The Do-Over. This movie, they did not even try. This, at least I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least with The Ridiculous Six, there was some effort to have sets and a horrible story. But this, they just didn't even try. And it's just them in Puerto Rico hanging out, and David Spade, he tries, I guess, a little bit, but the story is super mean to him, so misogynistic. It's so disgusting. It's managed to be homophobic and racist, and just, it's so bad. I mean, you watch it and you just think, how could anybody air this? It's that bad. It's that offensive. And so that is my worst of the year list. Let me know what you think of this list, and what were some of your worst of 2016. Whew, got that out. On to better things in 2017.